Poisonrana.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana. You found us on whatever podcast app you are using right now, or maybe you are watching us live
on youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Hello, our little cute tadpoles.
You're looking cute today yourself there.
Thank you. You too.
For the last maybe 5 to 10 minutes, I've been walking around the apartment singing "I'm Just Ken," and then right before the show, you went and pulled out your pink furry Becky Lynch. Your Becky Lynch's Halloween costume. Clearly, she left here behind.
Well, it couldn't fit in the hand luggage, could it?
So it's ours now.
Required a pink fur coat.
I definitely want to try it on.
It's pretty cozy. Should I wear it out later? It's beautiful.
Oh, I dare you.
Look at it.
Yeah,
it's
it actually
day
is.
For a pink coat.
Really, one of the biggest regrets in my entire life was not buying the Ken fake fur coat at that Spirit Halloween store maybe like 3 weeks ago, because now we would have been a matching couple. We would have been great. But this one's pink, even better.
It's pink and fluffy and very cozy, and I'm wearing my Perito t-shirt as well.
It's casual Friday.
And my Roots Tracky Bees.
It's casual Sunday here.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing my girlfriend's Lizzo sweater, so I might get canceled. I don't know.
I'm gonna be. I almost didn't do the show today. I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, you
so
messaged
I'm gonna
me.
be comfy instead.
You messaged me like, "So am I sick?" I was like, "I don't know. Are you sick?"
Do we have technical difficulties today? Is our internet down again?
Yeah, there's not even a lot to talk about. Like in the world of wrestling, it's somewhat of an actual quiet week of things, so that's why we're like, But you know what? We're here anyways, so you're stuck with us, or you're not. But like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Hello, people picking us over football today. Is football started yet?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. Hello, Jake. We see you. Ribbit. Hello, Chris. We see you too. Hello, Søren, who we saw this week on TV.
Television.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out, Søren.
Vegan loves meat.
This vegan loves meat. The sign during the meat match definitely popped up on screen, and it was Søren. Yes. I definitely. If you join the Poisonrana chat, Søren posted like, "Hey, I'm trying to get this sign on TV," and I was like, "Oh man, like you gotta like walk by the aisle." We've been to a lot of shows. I'm like, if you really want to get on TV, you just walk by the aisle with your sign. You'll be a little bit of like an a-hole to some people, but like that's what you wanted to do. And I was watching on like maybe a 5-minute delay, and in the chat, I'm like, "Oh, like I believe in you. You'll get that sign on TV." And everyone in the chat's like, "No, they did." I'm like, "Wait a second." And then I look at the screen. Cuts right to it. This vegan loves meat. So shout out vegans.
Love it.
And shout out meat.
Yeah.
I would love to hear some vegan meat recipes from Søren, because we talked about it briefly last week, I think. Like how vegans take like pineapple and things and turn it into like fake meat.
Yeah.
And sometimes it tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. I like vegan food.
So it's Sunday. It's the Frogs Day. We are here to talk about all the things going on in the world of wrestling. And there always is things to talk about in the world of wrestling. Got to shout out John Cena for filling in on Up Next on Wednesday. We went live and talked all about some NXT and the move to the CW. I'll definitely get some thoughts from you on that in a sec, but check out that show. We will be back to regular scheduled programming for Tuesday, as Davie and I will be back live after NXT over on the Post Wrestling feed with a new Up Next, talking all about Baron Corbin attacking Ilya and everything going on for the deadline.
Trick and Mello,
yeah, the big ratings draw there of the storyline of who took out Trick, as we're trying to find out who it was. So we'll be back on Tuesday doing that. If you're listening to this on this very feed, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that download, and check out Shot in the Dark every Thursday, because See No Evil will fill you in on everything, including women of wrestling. Shout out Goldie Collins, who now, thanks to Sino sharing a clip of me and him talking about her, has followed us on social media. Is
she your best friend now?
Absolutely. So the dog lady from WoW is our new best friend.
Does that mean we can get a dog now?
Nah, not yet. Would you get a Goldie call?
I wouldn't mind like a golden retriever or a golden lab.
Yeah, I grew up with a golden lab. Yeah,
they're cute.
Pretty nice.
We can get a cat instead.
Not really the same.
A cat's cool.
There is a cat lady gimmick on WoW too, but this one's legit. Like she wears a Catwoman type thing, like skin tight thing and makeup and whiskers, and then she does like gymnastics. It's a bit different than Goldie Collins. But
could you see them getting a bunny as well soon?
Yeah, very true. Yeah, maybe we'll see bunnies showing up on other wrestling shows since she's no longer with AEW. Yeah. Do you think there'll be more cuts?
I think we're gonna see. I mean, what AEW's been around 4 years now?
Yeah, 3+.
Yeah.
Usually,
So,
right?
and I'd imagine a lot of these contracts are 3-year contracts, something like that. So, and we've seen TK isn't really one for firing people unless you're CM Punk or Jimmy Havoc.
Right.
But apart from that, like
no, it seems like he just doesn't tell you your contracts. You just realize, wait, my keys don't work. The locks are changed. Wait, how come I don't have a hotel booked? Where's my rental? Oh, wait. Oh, I don't work here anymore. That's kind of seems how it might be playing out there.
Well, check when your contract runs out, like be like, hey, are we re-signing this?
yeah, that also is a thing.
Like we're going to be the other way around with our landlord, just not bring up that our thing's coming to an end.
Never. It'll never
just
come to an
not
end.
reply to a phone calls and we'll TK him.
Damn, why did I pick up my phone? Is what will happen. Yeah, I could see some more cuts coming in the near future, not only from AEW, but we're seeing a few trickling out from WWE NXT, like some of the people that it's just not working. I think you'll start seeing trimming the fat a little bit of like who is in the system.
I really think in NXT there's gonna be there kind of should be a big exodus soon of like the top talent. I'm thinking people like, Wesley, Carmelo Hayes, Bron Breakker, Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez. I feel they've kind of done everything there is to do now in NXT. So, but that's like your whole like Ilya as well. That's your whole like top roster. Yeah. So I think you're going to see, that phase where we start moving people up a little bit, stepping up like your Axioms, your Tyler Bates.
Creeds, who signed their contracts.
Signed to Raw now.
Yeah, pretty crazy. And Ivy.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do see some changes coming from, the bunny being cut. She's Cherry Bomb. She's been wrestling in the Toronto area, Buffalo area for so many years. Would see her live all the time. I'm sure she could come back to the indies and do fantastic and work like a lot. But I'm wondering about her spouse, the Blade, because the Butcher and the Blade, right?
Yeah, Butcher and Blade came in slightly after her, I think, if I remember right. Because I think she was one of the first women signed to the company, if I remember correctly.
Right, wow.
And because she started off as Ali, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then did stuff with QT Marshall for a little bit, if I remember correctly.
I can't remember.
And Butcher and Blade debuted at one of their pay-per-views.
Okay.
I think interesting. Remember. So, and then she paired up with them. So I mean, they're a good tag team. They're good to like have, to put people over, but I haven't seen them on TV for a while.
No, they've been featured in some stuff before, but not in a while. Yeah.
I could see them moving on as well.
Yeah, your Kip Sabians of the world. Like I would imagine there's some people that maybe they just want to like shuffle out, and that could help those people too because there's so much more out there.
You got to make room for Ric Flair,
Yeah,
and the
got to be able to pay for Ric Flair's energy drinks and Big Show's knees.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to talk to Ray, I think, doesn't he?
His knees are the size of Ray. What do you just put Rey Mysterio in as a knee there? Yeah, it'll be good. We'll talk about some Ray.
Yeah, I could totally see it going to TNA.
Going back.
Probably, going there. Especially like they're kind of sort of Toronto-based, kind of.
They're kind of the Canadian company. Yeah. If you ask me, that probably would have helped them if they decided to be like, hey, we're actually the Canadian industry, company, but they kind of need to branch out a bit more. I know they were just here doing like their retro show, which could be interesting. And I mean, hey, this could be the home. It could be the UK's new brand if Ospreay goes there, right? It could be Chicago's own brand if Punk were to go there. When does TNA change their name? It's like the end of this
January.
Year. Yeah, so their Hard to Kill pay-per-view is very poetically named that because TNA is very hard to kill, the cockroach of wrestling.
I'm intrigued. I think they've got a great roster at the moment and have been like, Josh Alexander, Speedball, like
then why every time I tune in it's Eddie Edwards and his wife. Every time, man. Every time I tune in it's him and his wife. I'm like, all right.
They've got some really good
and
people
Moose.
There. And I think Moose, I like Moose. Man. I don't think Moose is bad. I'd be interested to see this kind of, like how they're stepping things up, and if they can,
they need to
if they can hire a couple of big names as well to like draw eyes and things.
Because I'll tell you, as much as people are like, Impact is the third brand, it's not, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Women of Wrestling is the third brand in the United States by a lot.
Wow.
By a lot. So it is like they could do
do
a lot to step up.
I don't really hear about Women of Wrestling from wrestling fans.
It's a completely different show.
Right? Like, I think it's something that's kind of captured non-wrestling
your
fans.
glow. Yeah, like you're those kinds of
people watching the wrestlers on Netflix, that kind of thing.
Yeah, which is also very, very good. I
Mm.
still have not completely finished it, but
I'm midway through an episode where they go to this festival
Right.
in sort of Hicksville. No offense. Where
anyone
they're
from
celebrating some weed that they're famous for. I think it's called, is it called poke weed?
okay.
And it's this weed that will kill you if you don't cook it correctly. And they make this like weed salad out of it. And they're like, wait, you do a festival because of this? And it's like, yeah, because we're proud, because we make it so you don't die when you eat it.
I would
so
try.
I'm like, tell me more about this weed.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested about that. I'll have to catch up and figure what exactly is they're talking about. We need a Poisonrana strain decided. Any weed makers out there?
I'm not talking marijuana. I'm talking a weed that you eat.
Oh,
like a
I'm
salad,
less interested. Yeah, sorry.
like kale.
Oh, I thought you meant like
kale
weed.
Kills you.
Kale's supposed to be good for you.
Well, no, I mean, this is good for you if you cook it right.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll talk about more of the wrestlers when I do finish it, because it is pretty good.
Well, bit of housekeeping to start. I think first thing we need to plug, the most important thing, we are hosting an event in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
Saturday, November 25th. If that date rings a bell, you're right. That is Survivor Series Saturday. And we have booked a bar, Gabby's, 309 King Street West. We will be screening Survivor Series across 10 televisions.
Wow.
We've got a big screen and projector. Even if you want to go outside and brave the cold, we've got some heaters out there. We've got the TV with sound as well. We want as many of you to come as possible. We have a bunch of early bird tickets available right now for only $5. This helps us, just like secure the bar, buy some prizes to hand out. We've got some more replica lucha masks. We are going to have some Dragon Lee masks, some Rey Mysterio masks we're giving out.
Yeah, we have a Dom mask we're giving out. The Dominic Mysterio, since he's going to be the major part of Survivor Series.
Oh, yeah. Will be a great food menu, best wings in town, best buffalo wrap in town.
That's right.
Some veggie and vegan options if you are that way inclined as well. Come along. These events, we had so much fun doing WrestleMania in April. And Survivor Series, it's one of the big four. And we're getting War Games, and we'll be talking all about that later. But love to see as many of you as possible. So go to Poisonrana.ca and click on the link at the top to our Eventbrite page and get your tickets now.
Yeah, I know a few of our listeners come out to these events, any of the GTA area people. So Toronto folks, come on out and hang out with us as we watch some wrestling. It's always a fun time, and party with the BDE the only way the BDE knows how.
We may also be doing a bit of wrestling karaoke after TBC.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love our wrestling.
You have to bring this fur coat.
Oh yeah. I'm not taking this off.
So yeah, we're gonna have some fun in the 6 for Survivor Series. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing some of you people out. So always a good time when we host a fun party. We've hosted a bunch this year.
Yeah.
This is like
is this our biggest year?
Our biggest year of doing these live events. I mean, we've done Forbidden. We were Manswear International. We did All In It over near Wembley with the Grapple lads. And
this time last year, we did the Post Wrestling 5th anniversary show.
We had quite a year
and hosted our Full Gear game.
That's right.
Yeah, we did Forbidden Door, didn't we?
Yeah, I know it's Survivor Series time, and we should have done a draft of some sort, but I think Fire Frank's been champ for too long. I think eventually by the end of this year, we need to have some sort of game to sort that out.
He's been very Roman this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And maybe that's our fault rather than his fault.
No, I mean, he's defeated everyone put in front of him. So no, he's actually and he international.
I mean, the lack of booking.
Yeah, lack of booking, but we put him in a match in New York. Guy beat everybody. guy beat his best friend.
Yeah.
in front twice in front of a crowd. And then here in Toronto, beat every fucking bum off the street in the sixth. This guy beat in trivia. So like the machine cannot be destroyed. So we're trying to think maybe some sort of Rumble time game where we try to figure out if he could put the title on the line, because definitely it's time for a change.
Yes,
this guy's been champ longer than Hogan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
everyone's talking about Roman going for Hogan's number. I'm pretty sure Frank is closer.
I think Roman is ahead of Frank right now. I think Frank captured his title after Roman, but
I think you could be wrong.
I don't know. It was during the pandemic. They're very close.
Yeah.
No. Roman's ahead. Roman's ahead.
Yeah. Not in my books.
But once Roman drops that title, if Frank is still champ, he has a chance of overtaking him.
That would be insane. That's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. On this very free feed, just the other day, we dropped episode 2 of Eagles Don't Hunt Flies. Martin Bushby, Dickie Bird, and Brandon from New Jersey. This is their brand new show where they're exploring different parts of the career of Jon Moxley / Dean Ambrose. Episode 1 was looking at his rivalry that spanned over a decade with Nick Gage. And this one is an infamous match, a match I actually attended.
You were at.
Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar, which this one's going to be super interesting because 2 people on completely a different page with what they wanted to do with this match.
Right.
And Moxley being quite vocal about it after the fact. So, check that out on this very free feed.
Yeah, it should have been one of the best matches ever, but it didn't go that way.
They changed it, didn't they? They booked at the Rumble it to be Bray and Brock. And then they had the triple threat feud with Seth, Dean, and Brock.
I don't want to give it away. I haven't finished the show yet, but I was listening to it. And I think all 3 of them weren't necessarily in wrestling as much at the time, because Dean was the wild card that year where he got the biggest. I was at that Rumble. He got the biggest reaction when he was the last guy with Triple H or something along those lines. He got that roadblock show because he was over. Toronto, they were like, fuck, we can't book you as Mania now, but you should be. So
it was one of the cases he naturally got himself very over.
Yeah.
And I loved a lot of the build to this match as well, where Brock would just keep beating him up, and very Darby Allin-esque of Ambrose just getting back up. And you thought you were going to get this crazy match in Texas, and really wasn't that. So listen to these 3 guys break it all down, and looking forward to see what they're going to talk about next month as well.
Yes, the Jon Moxley mixtape. Yes.
But we've got more on our Patreon.
Yes, we have lots and lots of shows. I know it's a good time to sign up any time of the month over at our Patreon. It's only $5 to sign up, and you get access to every show that we put out every week in the new month here, and every show in the back catalog there. You get access to 550 plus different wrestling reviews, movie reviews, all sorts of things on our Patreon. But we just did our spooky October month, but this month we got a crazy lineup of shows. We just dropped just yesterday our Up Yours pick. Shout out Farmer Brent, who didn't join us this time around, but he wanted us to have a few laughs at his expense, and he has picked Superbad from 2007. I know if you are in the same era of Davie and I, maybe this movie has a place in your heart just like it does ours. So we spend about 2 hours breaking down our favorite jokes from this movie and exposing some very embarrassing high school, college year type stories. And
have you ever wanted to listen to me ask Braden if he uses lube? This is the show for you.
Spermicidal lube. What? Yeah. We get very personal, and then we read some of you, our listeners, stories and feedback who wrote in to explain some of your favorite memories of this movie too. So Superbad, McLovin, all of it, it's now on our Patreon. So if you've ever wanted to listen to us talk about Superbad, your time is now. We also have done a bunch of movie reviews in the past few weeks, but this upcoming week, because TNA is hard to kill, we decided we haven't reviewed enough TNA. And since everyone wants to talk about TNA, we are looking at Tits and Asses 3. Wait, that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at TNA What are we looking at?
Have we reviewed?
I don't know
yet?
if we have.
I don't think so. This might be news to us actually.
Oh,
so,
are you want to click the Facebook?
Yeah,
we need a drum roll here.
Yeah, we need a long drum roll here.
I put this to our listeners over on the Facebook page, the Poisonrana group. If you join it, you can vote on things like this because we had 2 different polls going for this month, including a Survivor Series retro review. But we asked you people, what TNA pay-per-view should we review this week? And I think the people have spoken.
We've got it here. The winner is TNA Turning Point 2005. This features Jeff Jarrett versus Rhino for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the TNA X Division Championship.
Fuck yeah.
America's Most Wanted versus Team 3D in a tables match.
Ooh.
And a Sabu versus Abyss in a barbed wire massacre. Which, did we talk about
I think
that
we did,
one?
yeah.
So this won quite convincingly with 40% of the votes.
I have the DVD of this show.
Oh yeah,
I'm not busting it out. Who knows? God knows where it is. Even though you recently cleaned it.
it's we could actually find it pretty easily right now because I organized the place.
Yeah, I have a bunch of TNA DVDs that I got from like a cash converter. It's like a bunch of years ago that I'm like, should I keep them? Like, so I have a few of them. I think this one's still on it, but I'm sure this pay-per-view is available online. Turning Point 05 is what we're looking at.
They put a lot on their YouTube, so it could even be up there for free.
Yes.
Or Impact Plus if you are a subscriber, or maybe you have the DVD like Braden.
It's going to be very it's going to be very interesting to look back at this pay-per-view because I was watching TNA around this time. This was my heyday of TNA. 05 in wrestling. Oh my God, don't get me started. So this is up my alley. So any of you 05ers out there, meaning people like me who think 2005 was the best year of professional wrestling. I need you.
Opposite people like me who this was the year I left.
You were like,
watching.
You're like Monty Brown.
I stopped
I'm out.
watching for about 6 years.
So we're gonna chat all about this. We don't usually talk about TNA, but like you said, a lot of the names on these shows, like look where they are now, and big names in wrestling.
Titles, yeah,
exactly.
This is on YouTube for free.
Wow, there you go. So yeah,
perfect.
We're gonna review some TNA this week on the Patreon. Yesterday we put out our super bad review, like I said, but this month also we're going to be looking at best match ever, Kairi Sane. We're going to be joined by Karen Peterson. Yeah, sorry. To talk all about Kairi because we did a show with Karen talking about the best of EO, and man, this show was insane and so great, and it just left us wanting more. And we kind of promised. Karen was like, I gotta come back to do Kairi. And what better time than Kairi coming back now in the Fed?
Kairi coming back, it's perfect timing. She's probably going to be in a War Games match late this month. So, yeah, perfect time. We're going to be talking all about the best matches of Kairi Sane outside of WWE.
Yeah, and Karen, who knows Kairi best than her. So she's going to create this list, and we're going to go through these matches. We'll list the matches that we watch, but spoiler, if you've never seen EO versus Kairi, like you're doing yourself no favors if you have not watched this match from before WWE. So maybe we'll talk about it again.
Can't wait. Yeah. Really looking forward to this. Obviously, you know, if you've listened to us long enough, we love Kairi Sane. We sign off every show giving an ahoy.
That's right.
So can't wait for this. And always fun chatting to Karen.
So yeah, lots and lots of shows over on our Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and it's how we keep the lights on. So go subscribe and check out all the different podcasts that we do. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can talk about whatever's going on. Where do we want to start today?
Shall we start with a bit of Dynamite?
Some Dynamite, light the fuse, light the
drink some booze. Dynamite, light the fuse, drink some booze, dynamite.
That would be a good.
Fly, everybody, it's you and I. Everybody, let's do or die. Dynamite, dynamite, dynamite. Because
we watch usually on the fight when it goes to break, when they're not in P&P, which is rare. It plays like the instrumental.
Yeah.
So that plays in our house. Like,
it's better than, I rarely watch Rampage these days, but the commercials on Fight for Rampage.
Oh.
Because it still goes, this is Rampage, baby.
This is Rampage, baby. I love how we've gotten over that line to a bunch of our friends who don't even know what the fuck wrestling is or Rampage, because we go, this is Rampage, baby. So now like other people go, oh, I'm on a rampage, baby. And like, they don't know what we're doing.
My friend Gareth at work is like, we rampaging tonight?
And then he got that over with his friends. So they're like, oh, Rampage, baby. And I'm like, oh, did you watch the Vikingo Commander tag match? And they're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's Rampage, baby.
It's Rampage, baby. Kick things off with MJF versus Daniel Garcia, where we were getting the wrestler, not the sports entertainer, for the world title. So this Dynamite was setting up your main event for the pay-per-view could be Daniel Garcia versus Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, that was something that they had to tell me on commentary, that I was like, oh, okay. As much as I love all people involved, but yeah, kind of weird that they've been doing this with MJF leading up to like the pay-per-view. Like, you gave away the match with Kenny on Collision. You're giving this one away. I enjoy the matches, don't get me wrong. We need to book stars versus stars on AEW more often, but when you're doing it this way, it's kind of bizarre and kind of weird. Also, starting the show with this and ending with Mark Briscoe, and it's like, oh, okay, why did we do that way? Very strange. Also strange, I don't know these people. I don't know the actual logistics, but you're telling me MJF had to wrestle on this night, the night of the Iron Claw premiere. You're telling me you did not realize that maybe you should send him over there? Because I'll tell you who was there. Some people from WWE. So Tony Khan, you're having this reoccurring thing, TK, where you're letting things slip right out of your fingers. Just a few too many times, especially with that CW deal coming out and some information that's like, wait, they kind of asked you first. Anyways, what was the deal with MJF not being at that?
I didn't even realize. That's very odd.
I thought it was in California. No, sorry, they were in Portland. No, they weren't in California. So I was like, very strange that they booked this. Was it like, hey, sorry, MJF, we need you because we need to sell tickets and yada, yada, yada. But as it was starting, my social media feed was full of the Iron Claw premiere for A24, which during the premiere, the SAG strike ended. So all A24 was the only production company still not striking because they actually pay their people. They were actually the only company that was like, actually, no, we already do all of this. So they can still promote and do everything. And during the red carpet, like all the actors like Zac Efron and Cousin were told live, like, oh, the strike's over. And they're like, oh, fuck, cool. But like, you had Chavo Guerrero standing there instead of MJF.
Yeah.
That's a L.
Zac Efron and Bearman, what's his name?
Yeah, the Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, we're putting him over quite big because Chavo does a lot of work on these TV shows, and like he worked on what is it? The Stephen
Dark
Amell
Side
show.
Oh, Heels.
Heels, worked on that, worked on Glow, working on this movie. Seems to be the guy who is like the go-to for movie wrestling. Yeah,
and then I'm seeing all these interviews with Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White being like, oh, wrestling's fucking sick. I would love to be involved with wrestling. Really? Okay, well, hopefully Chavo and Trish gave you Triple H's number because they were at the premiere, and probably some other people from WWE, but not having the guy who's in the movie.
That is bizarre. I mean, you could have totally done a pre-tape
with him with the title.
Collision.
Like, he doesn't have the title.
Yeah. Like Garcia and MJF could have totally gone on Collision this week instead and given it a bit more build, using this Dynamite to, build up Garcia, who they
promote it at the thing. Yeah.
A year ago, 18 months ago, Garcia was so much hotter than he is now.
Yeah.
And I think they've done quite a bit of damage to the guy. And I feel this story, as you were kind of saying, with MJF having a lot of challenges, wrestling every week. I feel they're kind of maybe doing the Orange Cassidy thing with him, where like he's eventually, when he loses it, he's going to kind of blame himself for being this baby face, being the honorable champion, and go back to his dastardly ways, maybe. The match didn't quite hit for me as much as I thought it would. No. I don't know if it is because Garcia is pretty low down right now. It never reached that kind of second gear. And normally these are the kind of wrestlers I like seeing MJF wrestle the most. Like his matches with Darby, his matches with Sammy, his matches with Jungle Boy, I've always really enjoyed. And here just didn't quite reach that level for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Daniel Garcia,
especially being in the opener.
Yeah, it was just weird. They made him tap out to a move no one's tapped out in like ages to trying to get that move back over. I get it, but very weird.
I think also maybe just making it an eliminator match, where you could.
Oh, it wasn't for the. It was for the title.
It was for the title, yeah. But like, he's not. You're not getting Mark Briscoe versus Daniel Garcia in the pay-per-view main event. Like, that's not happening. But maybe if you make it an eliminator, you could buy, some shenanigans which causes MJF to be pinned and could set up a rematch after pay. Like, at least you have that seed of doubt in your head when watching it where Garcia could have a chance here.
Right.
Whereas when it's for the title, it's not happening.
Man doesn't even have the title. So it's not for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a way better match with the two of them out there if they ever linked up again, which I'm sure would happen, but they definitely have started Garcia way too much and definitely hurt his stock from look at a year ago. Like you're saying, he's still popular, but the way they use him on the card is nowhere near where he was or should be, because the whole Jericho Kenny stuff, you'd imagine Garcia would have been a good person to bring into there. Like Jericho basically saying like, hey, I'm a good guy now. I'm sorry I fucked up. Let me give you a chance. You can team with me. Help me. And something like that would have been a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
At least because you would have all these different opponents to wrestle with and prove himself. Where in this match, I'm just like, yeah, you're going to lose. And it didn't even get to maybe like where I know both guys can get, because they are two of the best these two youngest, best wrestlers in the company, and didn't really deliver for me in this match. So
we also had Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee, which I kind of echo the same sentiment.
Yeah, it started off really good, let them slapping meat and the crowd getting into the meat stuff and everything, but it definitely slowed down.
I think Keith Lee obviously had some issues with COVID related issues. I believe he was not wrestling for quite a while. This is around the time of his main roster call up and all that, and he has seemed significantly slower since then. And I think having him against smaller guys that he can throw around is pretty fun. I'd say the same with Joe. It's obviously not the Joe from 5 years ago, but put him in there against a Darby Allin or an MJF, he can have or even Punk, he can have a hell of a match. I think here it's just, you weren't getting that, that spectacle of when you'd have a Dijak versus Keith Lee, where you're seeing these super heavyweights hitting Avalanche Poisonranas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're not getting that anymore. And therefore it was just a bit of a slower, lumbering match.
Those big lads, slapping each other around. I liked it, but it got slower halfway through, and I was like, okay, it was good, but now it's just gotten a little boring. So it definitely wasn't a highlight of the show for me. As it going into it was like, oh, this could be a dream match here, but both guys are a bit slower than they were. The weird thing came after the match, though. He beats Keith Lee to retain the ROH TV title, and then goes, this title ain't shit. I don't want it anymore. And then leaves it in the ring.
So he broke the record. It's the longest reign as the TV champion in ROH.
Besides Samoa Joe, Davey, tell me, what's your favorite ROH TV title reign?
Didn't Jay Lethal have a long run?
He was the guy who had it.
And then he won the world title whilst being TV champion. Sure. I think in 2014, something like that. Apart from that, no. They should have got rid of the title right here and then. Yeah. Or done a trade-in. I'm vacating this for a shot at.
That's what he is doing, though. He says to MJF, hey, I'm not a champion anymore, so I got some other gear I want to pick up instead. Yeah. It's you could have been double champ. They're two titles no one gives a fuck about. Don't worry.
I don't think you should have put it on Keith Lee.
No.
I think you want to keep Samoa Joe strong and kind of undefeated at this run
story.
It's just bizarre because we've got Final Battle coming up very soon, and in the space of 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, we thought we were getting the Elite, Hangman and the Bucks on this show. You thought you were getting Samoa Joe on this show. And now they all seem to be off it, which is odd. And even Eddie Kingston's gone AWOL from AEW again. He's the ROH champion, but it's not it's not like he's a big focus part on AEW to put this kind of belt over and have it a featured thing. Yeah. It's very odd. So it does make me question what's going on there.
You know what? Something that kind of struck me the other day, because I completely forgot. Eddie Kingston was champion, and what title Joe even had, and MJF is tag champion. I think the day they said that Tony bought Ring of Honor was the day AEW honeymoon period ended. I think from that moment on is when things got a little muddy.
Out of focus.
Yeah,
right?
Things got very, very muddy. And it didn't help that TK thought that ROH was going to be his second TV deal. That was not the case. They said, no, we want AEW Collision, not Ring of Honor Collision.
Yeah.
And now he's like, fuck, what do I do with all this stuff now? Do I sell this? Do I dump this? He's put in a position of like, I don't know if I need this now.
He didn't take CW up on that offer.
Yeah, if that is true.
He's got to be like, I imagine, do you think it's because like he doesn't want to, I mean, Turner, if they were interested, they'd have bought it by now.
Yeah.
So I don't see like how you can really worry about upsetting your partner by being like, hey, do you want this? No, I'm taking this elsewhere then. Oh no, you can't do that. Like, I can't really see that being the case unless it is for, and it seems to be talked around for forever, like a Max deal, and whether it is something that he wants when they get the HBO Max deal, that ROH could be part of that package as well. And it could maybe move from Honor Club as something, another perk that is part of Max. Yeah, maybe. Because I'd have taken up that CW.
Yeah, thing. It looks pretty ridiculous if that is legit. That like someone did want this show and you said no.
Like you can see, like CW clearly are in on wrestling right now. They
are now
NWA and NXT.
Tell you, it's all that women of wrestling.
Yeah. So
ratings.
It's very odd. I could totally see MJF dropping the tag titles before this final battle as well, and then really you're just back to
when is final battle?
December, right?
Who cares?
So like,
I think all my issues as a fan of AEW stem from when the ROH thing happened, and I know that everyone who was obsessed with ROH and went to dingy little halls and had fun at the, I enjoyed going to Ring of Honor when it was small venues and people drinking beer and the AC's broken, and that's just what indie wrestling is. Now they're doing it in these bigger arenas with half of the people there. It looks like a lot less people. There still is a lot more people than your little bingo halls and stuff and gyms and stuff, but it just looks bad. And the interest, there's still maybe more eyes on it than ever, but it's just lost that like.
I think having it as an NXT essentially,
that's what it needs to be.
Fine idea, but like NXT, it's Triple H is running main roster, Sean is running NXT, and I'm sure Triple H pokes his head in and is like, hey, what about this, and this? But Tony can't be running it. Like, have it as a developmental, have it to get people ready that you think, I like this act and want to bring them to Dynamite or Collision, but have, a Chris Hero run it or something like that.
He just might be.
like have someone separate completely booking it and don't worry about that.
I cannot care about it at all. Like when they announced Joe versus Keith Lee, I'm like, fuck yeah. And then for the Ring of Honor TV title, sorry, the what again? Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I don't, at the tag titles, I don't care. Like, it's just, and I'm someone who loves this shit. How much time of my life do I spend on wrestling? How many times in my life have I spent watching AEW ROH? Absolutely, like zero.
Also, like, have it, like, be stricter with it. It's an hour show, like, it's fluctuated in its length. Like, sometimes it's 2 hours or whatever with 20 matches.
Are they?
Like, it has been in the past. Like, so, like, have it more focused and, just get away from it.
I feel like it's been the cause of all the problems.
But I think, like, you've heard the stories of, Tony Khan used to do his fantasy booking and had his notepads, and, names like The Acclaimed are something he came up with as a kid when he was booking his, like, fantasy feds. And it did feel like he had this whole, like, plan. And the first couple of years of Dynamite felt very planned. You could see where they were going for pay-per-views and stuff like that. And then I think you had, the ROH deal and Punk, where it's now like Punk completely changed the course of Hangman's story in AEW, which Hangman was the main character of AEW season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, it's, And then Punk came in and it's like, oh, we got this new character that let's focus on him. And
yeah, this actor was in a hot show for a few years before. So now let's make him our main character.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And I think that really changed. Also, you know, not just Punk, but like, you know, your Daniel Bryans or Adam Cole's, like all of them coming in as well. It kind of shook things up a lot. And then you add the ROH thing on top. And it just becomes less focused. And AEW still, it's got the best roster in the world, in my opinion. But I'm beyond the just having good matches now a bit, because I see so many good matches. The pay-per-views are still stellar because you're booking the best wrestlers in the world against each other. So they're great.
Yeah.
But I don't have that same, I haven't had that same enjoyment with Dynamite that I used to have. Like, I don't feel like if I'm not watching it live at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, it's, I'll catch it later.
Yeah.
Whereas I never used to be like that. It's, I got to stay in.
Hey, even the pay-per-views, this weekend is their Full Gear. We'll give some predictions, but you're working.
Yeah.
I was like, we're having people over here. Like, I'm not going to be there.
Saturdays I make good money, and like I've given them up in the past to watch them, but I can't. This is the first time I can't justify it. I know Jay White MJF is going to be great. I know MJF is retaining that title. Like it's, you know,
come in after Jay White won.
Yeah, probably.
I did like some stuff from Dynamite, though. I'll tell you, I did enjoy Swerve Strickland versus Penta.
Yeah.
That was definitely the match of the night. And I mean, showing you that I'm happy that they're finally using Swerve as like a main character. My girlfriend was like going in and out of the room as I was watching Dynamite the other night. And she heard like the commentary when Hangman attacks Swerve. And the commentary like, yeah, good for you. Should be attacking. Like all three of them were like, yeah, fuck this guy. Essentially, Abe was walking like, what are they? Why are they so happy this guy's getting beat up? I'm like, walked in on this guy's kid. Like he went into this guy's baby's room, and she's like, what the fuck? Why is that a wrestling storyline? And I'm like, yeah.
Even that is kind of weird because it's Swerve is like, I want your spot and I want to challenge for the world title. He beat him. Now I'm going to go and look at your kid. It's like, wait, sorry? You don't want the world title? Nah, I'm going to look at his baby.
I loved I mean, clearly they're doing the Texas Death Match.
They announced it on Collision.
Okay, so that is official now. Yeah, that match will absolutely fuck. I cannot wait for this match. But Hangman also said that he's going to have his kid piss on his grave or something like that. Pretty funny.
Also, why did Hangman have the restraining order?
Yeah, this guy's been in his house.
So, like, Swerve like breaks into his house, threatens, I don't know, kidnapping or murdering his baby or something like that. And it's like, all right, Hangman, you're banned from the arena tonight. What? Well, Swerve has a match. Why?
No, Hangman let the match happen first. He loves us, the fans. He wanted us to see Penta versus
Let's
Swerve.
see if Penta can beat him. All right, no.
Oh, he got his arm broken? Hold on, I'm coming. Which also, whatever happened to the arm snap?
Yeah.
The arm snap should be a protected thing. It shouldn't be.
It never has in AEW.
Yeah, ever since Cody.
Yeah.
Fucking Cody. I love Penta though, man. Like he can be put in these slots and like steal the show.
Penta's great. I still like feel like the luster's worn off.
What do you do with
They've never booked him correctly, I don't think, in AEW. Get Alex away from him.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe a bit more serious, right? If you look at everyone that Jay White has been fighting and everyone Swerve has been fighting, it's the same list of people from like the last few months. They have their guys that job for the bigger stars, and that's who Penta is. Like, unfortunately, has been for a long time.
But it's great to see Swerve at this level. Like we've been saying since when he turned heel in NXT and had like the North American title run, or whatever. We were like, oh, this guy's got it. And like before then, he was like this guy from the Indies who had a bit of a name and did some flashy moves, but like he showed us in NXT way back when, and massive fumble from WWE. Like, I'm sure this is someone Triple H was like, fuck, I wish I had this guy on my roster.
There's still hope one day he goes back to Papa Paul for sure. He's definitely one of his guys, but I do enjoy seeing the certain wrestlers. Like Swerve is a character I love watching. Penta is a character I love watching. Two Lucha Underground guys, right here wrestling on TV, and it was definitely the highlight of the show. I did not really like Dynamite this week, but I thought this was really good.
I liked seeing Hangman pissed off and not fucking around with the Young Bucks as well. Like, be a serious singles wrestler again. But
yeah.
Talking about the Young Bucks and Kenny's doing more tags.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the Kenny and the Jets. They have a new shirt. I cannot wait to buy this shirt out of pure what shirt could I ever wear to a wrestling show that would get people laughing? I think the Golden Jets would be it. So I'm gonna have to cop this one. It's so good.
Is this like a Y2AJ
kind of shirt? I think so, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Love the segment where Kenny just stands there and then the Bucks are like, "Oh, Kenny, fuck you, Kenny," and then they're like, "Remember when we beat you before?" And Kenny's like, "Actually, wait a second, I've beaten you with other people before. Actually, I've done that a few times." So then he's like, "Fuck it, I guess I'm teaming with this guy too."
This is Jericho has his checklist, doesn't he? Of things that are cool and over.
The word "cool" is in that.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, Nick Gage was on Dark Side of the Ring. Let's get him on TV and do a pizza cutter spot.
Yeah.
Check. And then it's that, match of the year was Coda and Kenny against the Young Bucks. Match of the year was Hangman Kenny versus the Young Bucks. Hey, Kenny, do you wanna be a tag team? I kind of am trying to do a single. No. You don't want to do single.
Okay, who is the best wrestler? People keep saying the best. Ospreay. Yo, Ospreay, what do you want to do a match?
I kind of wanted my rematch against Kenny. No.
Takeshita, you're popular in DDT, right?
Can I beat you there?
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate. Jericho's the GOAT, and I can't wait for this match.
I feel like I don't feel the Young Bucks have looked motivated for a year.
Yeah, I feel like ever since the Punk stuff, they've not been the same yet.
Just for a long time. And this kind of reminded me of, that interview segment between FTR and the Bucks before Wembley.
Yeah.
Where the Bucks just didn't look like they wanted to be there. I kind of got the same impression here a little bit. I think the match is going to be good. It's not going to be on the level of the other ones we've seen. And I feel this story feels a little forced. And I think if we're going into the melodrama, which we know they've done really well, those two matches we mentioned are fantastic and some of the greatest tag matches of all time.
Ever, yeah.
But I feel they're going to try and force the same melodrama in this, and it's not earned this time round.
Yeah, I hope this time is more exhibition style. I didn't like the Bucks all of a sudden acting the way they did 2 or 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. All of a sudden you're like, "Oh, Kenny, what do you do?" It's yeah, he's your friend. He probably said, "Hey, I'm going to go talk to the story is they don't like Jericho."
Yeah.
But I will say, again, playing a bit of devil's advocate here, is the second Jericho was at All in what, 2000, whatever, when we went there. And then AEW was announced, and you're getting announcements for talent. That second, you look and went, "Oh, cool."
Oh, they needed Jericho.
They need this.
They
need this.
They needed Jericho.
No, but you would imagine, oh, Jericho and Kenny versus the Bucks would be a match that you would want to see. They haven't done it yet, and it's taken 3-4 years.
I just feel it goes back to what we were saying about the planning, the Hangman, the Revolution match with Hangman and Kenny, against them
was
that started on BT before AEW was a thing.
Yeah.
Hangman saying, "I don't want to be in the Elite anymore," and all that, and then them being put together in that tag tournament, etc., etc. We've got loose parts. Jericho is feuding with Jericho and Kenny are both feuding with the Don Callis family, but the Young Bucks don't have anything to do. So let's just in 2 weeks say, "Oh, well, I'm mad at you because you beat up my dad 3 years ago."
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely not. I'm happy that the match that we'll talk about in a few weeks isn't, or is it next week?
Week.
Isn't the pay-per-view match, because what the fuck is going on there? That whole storyline sounds a whole like Ospreay said no, and they had to scramble, and now the pay-per-view match is Golden Jets versus the Bucks, and Brian Cage is in the role of Will Ospreay for reasons I'm not sure, but he's the man in the match now instead of Ospreay, when clearly it was, "Oh, we'll get you to come in and be this huge Ospreay and these guys versus fucking Big Show and Kota Ibushi." What else could a wrestling fan ask for? And then he said, "Nah, I'm going to TNA."
You know what? You know what's happening, and I'm gonna laugh when it happens.
Jericho turns.
No,
Big Show
Big
turns.
Show turns. Come on, have you watched wrestling?
Yeah, Big Show.
It's gonna be. He's gonna do very little, and then he's gonna turn and punch Kota Ibushi in the face or something like that.
Kota Ibushi's gonna moonsault off him.
We'll add Big Show versus Kota Ibushi at
that sounds pretty lit.
At fucking Full Gear.
Break his nose.
Who has the better knees?
Ooh, it's definitely not Big Show. Oh my god.
Yeah, Kota's aren't looking great either.
Man, but he can walk though.
Yeah.
Big Show can't even walk.
Yeah,
man. I don't know how. Like the only person who walks worse than Big Show is fucking Great Khali.
Oh boy, did you see him bang his head?
Oh yeah, I watched that video like fucking 3 million times. It's hilarious. So I
need to find the picture of him buried in sand again.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Photo.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird what they're doing with Dynamite and AEW right now because they have all the pieces, but it's how they're playing it. Playing the hands is very strange. And again, part of me does want to watch Jericho and Kenny versus the Bucks. Yeah, but if you asked me 3 years ago, 5 years ago, I've been like, fuck, wow, this is insane. Maybe it's a little too late. Maybe it doesn't really make sense, but it's kind of like, fuck it. We have them here now. Let's do it. I guess that's why. But what about that street fight? Sega,
the Dragons Rising,
the man who erased his name, Street Fight.
But there's something about a dragon as well?
Like Dragon Dave,
like a dragon rising. The man who will not be named erased his name, Street Fight. Okay,
featuring Konosuke Takeshita, Will Ospreay, cunt. That who's that guy? Oh, Brian Cage, right? Of course. I was like, wait, what the fuck is that? Why is he in this match?
Is this this is going to be like, I imagine one of those, crazy street fights we've seen before all around the building.
Yeah. Big Show.
Yeah.
Big Show's not doing anything in this match, man. He better turn. Him and Jericho should both just join Don Callis at this point. Like, I don't know what the storyline is doing or affecting anyone. I know Kenny loves his Sega, but like, come on, man. I don't know what's going on, but I will be watching this street fight. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So maybe they did win.
Is this the main event, do you think?
Probably starts the show.
Starts the show?
Big Show's knees.
And then main event of Dynamite, we had Jay White versus Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, I didn't care for this too much. I love that they used Mark Briscoe. I loved his promo, actually, earlier promoting this. Basically, he's like going crazy and saying he's going to murder Jay White, which I did believe because he's crazy. So I love me some Mark Briscoe. I just don't think this was the best use of him because, unfortunately, the whole match was saying like, oh, man, could you imagine Mark Briscoe versus MJF at Full Gear? No, actually, I can't.
No.
So wasn't really into it too much, but yeah.
I thought the match was fine, but it was the same thing I felt with Garcia MJF. There was just no drama. Like, you know where it's going, and like it's fine. It's a TV match.
Yeah, that's not knocking him
whatever.
Because he's Mark Briscoe. You know, we all feel for him, and he could be used in a way different, maybe a better fitting position. Obviously, the stuff with Jeff Jarrett ran its course, but like there could be other stuff for him to do, and I just don't think having a match against the fake world champion and the outcome will be the winner faces the real world champion at the pay-per-view in the main event didn't make me believe that at all.
Anything was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely wrong.
And then we had the devil, the mystery attacker, taking out the Acclaimed, putting them through glass tables.
Real
glass. Yeah.
You know what this means, right?
Jack Perry.
It's Punk. Yeah. Is it Jack Perry? Is it Punk? Is it fucking Britt Baker?
I guess like Jack Perry kind of does make sense because it was MJF trying to get that like
out of him.
I think it will be I think people will be disappointed.
Yeah.
If it's him, but I can't see is anyone really that like, I don't care about this angle. At least now they've done something actually dastardly.
They attacked
before they punched Jay White and he was fine the next day.
Right.
Like, at least now it's like they've done something. And the Acclaim should be off for a couple of weeks. They should sell this. They shouldn't be doing scissors next week on Dynamite.
Don't stop the scissors.
But I kind of just don't really care. And I is there anyone who would make this work for you where you
Punk.
go, and it ain't going to be Punk.
Right.
So
exactly. So yeah, it's definitely tough. In this way, you would imagine it's actually just Adam Cole and Roddy and the Kingdom. Would it make sense that they would be doing this stuff? It's clearly the Kingdom dressed as two of the guys, and like people have been looking at them and being like, oh, that's fucking Taven right there. So I mean, they could just be the dummies. They do that in wrestling all the time, where it's someone else dressed up as people until the reveal. But yeah, people are thinking it's Jack Perry. People are thinking it's Punk.
Thing as well, like Jack Perry kind of makes sense because he's been off for a little bit and like brings him back in a big way. But what kind of message does that send if it's like, okay, we suspended you and you're coming right back into a world title picture?
Yeah, or it's MJF who orchestrated the whole thing with Perry. Like, hey, remember when I told you we could be together? Because he did do that. There is that segment that happened where he was like, yo, you suck. If you're more like me, you'd be doing a lot better. And maybe that is a way to do it. I personally don't think that's the right choice. But at this point, there is no one other than Punk that would make you go, oh, whoa, they really got us there. Because that's not the MO of this storyline is just not working that way. I mean, you keep saying it's Britt Baker. Like that other would be better than a Perry or a fucking anyone really at this. I don't know who it could make
like, but you can't have this. Like, I imagine you'll pay this off pretty soon. And like, if Adam Cole's injury is as legit as he's saying, he's off for months. So it can't be like someone coming in from WWE like Dolph or Ali or anything, because that just doesn't make any fucking sense. So like, I don't want that either. So I mean, at least then it's a surprise reveal and a surprise debut, you know.
But you're like, Dolph was like, yeah, I was showing up every week to attack the Acclaimed. It's like, no, you weren't.
Do you think we'll find out at Full Gear after the match?
If it's Punk, he'll stand up and be like, I fucking told you.
And then I imagine we're setting up. Do you see maybe like Wardlow for Winter is Coming and Joe for World's End?
Sure. Maybe? Yeah.
They're the two they're setting up right now.
Yeah, I imagine Joe helps MJF and becomes tag champs with him, beats the Ass Boys, and then Joe goes, oh, but now you owe me the shot. So
also Wardlow's promo, I thought he delivered it well. Makes no sense.
You took everything from me.
You fucking beat him.
But he took everything.
You beat him in, like, kayfabe wise. What did he take from him?
Yeah.
Wardlow beat him in like a minute. And then
really he should have
and then won the TNT title.
He pushes him up against the thing, right? Yeah. He's like, you took everything from me. He should have said, like, you shouldn't have got on that fucking plane. Isn't that what that whole thing was about?
Well, yeah. Remember? Like that's what I mean. Like
he stole his fire.
Shoot wise, he stole his fire. But it makes no sense.
Kayfabe wise, no. So I mean, you could have broke the blurred the lines a little bit, been like, I beat you, but no one cared. That's really what happened. Yeah. Sorry. I
beat you, and then I couldn't get over.
I beat you. I didn't have a great theme song that people could chant, and it didn't work out. So, yeah, unfortunately for Wardlow, I think they could rehab him still.
I think heel Wardlow would work.
Heel Wardlow?
Well, yeah. I mean, that seems to be what he's playing right now.
Yeah. He seems like he's still missing something. Music obviously is like, whoa, always.
His hair,
he needs to grow back the man bun. But he does like the Wardlow's Powerbomb Symphony. And like, how many AEW shows have we been to? And he's been at, and he's done this. What do you chant when he does it?
Wardlow.
Is that what you chant?
Maybe, I don't know.
Exactly. So like, dude, figure out what you're doing. Because he goes like this. Everybody sing.
Like even that, it's just everyone does it along with him, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then what are you supposed to chant?
Oh, it's good in this coat doing this.
But like, it doesn't make sense because you don't have like the Powerbomb Symphony is what it's.
Yeah. I wonder if we've seen this guy's ceiling. Like he was very hot. Like it kind of, like in a sense, reminds me of Ryback, who was insanely popular at one point, and then they kind of had to rush him into a world title picture because Cena was injured, and after that, after he lost, there was nothing really else. And I think Wardlow, the story with, you know, the Pinnacle and him being attached to MJF, and that was done really well. And then he beat him, and then it's, well, we can't just see you powerbomb guys every week.
Yeah.
Like everything runs its course at some point. So yeah, I mean, I think a heel run is probably a good thing to do, but he's not beating MJF, so then you're going to try and rehab him after that as well.
He'll join Don Callis.
Yeah, or Christian. I mean, you've already got a monster there.
Yeah.
Be a tag team with Luchasaurus.
Yeah. Put him with Christian. He doesn't have a dad, right?
He needs a dad, yeah.
The patriarchy.
Yeah.
Which is Christian's name now.
Yes.
Not the Christian Coalition, but the patriarchy.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because it's all about dads.
Yeah.
AEW is definitely in a weird spot. I think next week's pay-per-view Full Gear will be good and will deliver. There's been a rare occurrence of AEW not hitting, but definitely the numbers will show the interest is down. Should we look at some of the matches?
Well, I'll just go. I know you didn't get a chance to watch Collision this week, but I'll just go through a couple of the big points coming out of it. Same Collision, kind of good matches. You had Garcia take on Andrade, which was pretty good. The main event was the trio, seeing Sting, Edge, and Darby. I did find it funny in the opening, and then they reiterated it on commentary. Edge is like, and what you're gonna do when an icon, an iconoclast, and a freak come after you or whatever. And if I was Darby, I'd be like, excuse me?
Well, he calls himself that.
I know. Yeah. It's just, can you imagine? We're like, what are you going to do when the best Canadian podcaster out there and the best British podcaster and this fucking loser come after you?
Maybe he meant Scott Steiner was joining the team.
But like the story of that match was kind of that they weren't really gelling and they were trying to work out how to team together, and then they obviously team and win. Right. But it was more the announcements coming out of it. We mentioned the Swerve Hangman Texas Death match is coming. We had some more matches announced for Full Gear. Chris Statlander's taking on Julia Hart again after Hart beat Willow.
Yeah, sorry. So it's a three-way, right? It's going to be Statlander versus Julia versus Red Velvet or Sky Blue.
Okay, right, got you. And then we've had the announcement of the Continental Tournament. So you had Danielson there.
Is that John Wick tie in there? The Continental?
Okay.
Right? Is
that I think it's just, it's just America.
Right, okay, yeah.
The continent. Oh, no, just North America.
Yeah.
You had Danielson stood there with Tony Khan. First, he says that he regretted missing Wembley last year and confirmed that he will be wrestling next year.
Dude, how are you going to confirm that, brother?
I don't know how.
You can't confirm that.
You can't confirm
Not at all, you liar.
I think through hell or high water, he'll be there.
So after his match with Okada on the 4th of January, he just won't wrestle.
Taking time off. They did reiterate here, which I think they said in a press conference, but not on TV. He's retiring from full-time competition.
Yeah.
So that means we'll still see him have the odd match here and there, which is great. But pushing kind of the Wembley tickets again after that huge announcement last week.
Right.
But yeah, they've announced a 12-man tournament round robin style. And Danielson said, I've always wanted to compete in a tournament like this, kind of alluding to the G1.
Okay.
So this is, which I like. I think this is in place of the Eliminator tournament that we normally get this time of year.
So wait, is it for a world title shot?
They didn't confirm that, I don't think.
Right.
The finals are at World's End. I assume it will be the winner gets a title shot. But this is way better. I think we've had so many bracket tournaments.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a round robin. It makes... We were talking about matches on Dynamite not really having stakes. This puts stakes there. Being a round robin, you can have upsets. You can have like a Daniel Garcia beat a Bryan Danielson in there because everyone's going to have to take a loss really at some point. So I'm way more interested in this. I know AEW do a lot of tournaments, but this does sound a bit different. So I'm kind of for it.
Do we know any of the matches so far?
They've only announced Danielson.
In the tournament.
Right.
So far. So I'm imagining some of the bigger names that we've seen in some of the Eliminator tournaments before, like your Miro, Andrade, maybe, Orange Cassidy, I don't know, Moxley.
Yep. And it will make it, it gives you a reason to watch a Collision and a Dynamite. And
let's not get crazy.
Heck, maybe even throw one of these matches on a Rampage.
Whoa. Now you're talking crazy. I think it's a good idea. They need to do more promo stuff like this for their shows. Clearly, it's not. Whatever they're doing is not working. So,
and they did announce and promote. They look, hey, we're going to be in this town, this town, this town, this town. So, and you're going to be getting these tournament matches.
I love the promo for, look, tonight we're in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, this is your last time to see Sting.
Yeah, exactly. It should work. It should help.
And someone's like, fuck, I really wanted to see Sting in Portland one last time. So yeah, it's stuff like that is how you will help create buzz.
So Danielson coming back in just a couple of weeks.
That's I mean, he's got his Okada match. I wouldn't have him wrestle before that, but
he's going to wrestle weekly.
Yeah, in his tournament.
Yeah, World's End is the 30th.
Bro, he's not making all in.
He's in the final of this tournament, I imagine.
This guy wrestles every week like he's got a death wish. So like, what is he talking?
I want to see him wear a mask. I want to see him wear a dragon protecting.
I don't think he will. This guy is crazy.
He still had it all taped up in this promo.
Is that like shoot? But he got a broken bone.
To protect it. Like if you've broken your orbital, like the Undertaker wore that mask with the similar injury, right?
Yeah.
Like you see football players. Zorro in Ted Lasso had to wear the mask after Danny Rojas broke his face.
Yeah. And that dog he killed.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. You know what? Like AEW is in a bit of a lull, but I still really enjoy their product. It's just like there is a few missteps and a few head scratching moments. As a fan, you're like, oh, why did you do that? That's kind of not what I would do. If you had a pay-per-view, why does it end up looking like this when you got all these other people?
Shall we go through it?
Yeah. Okay. So there is some other things that that are on at least the Wikipedia match listing. So I take it for the truth and gospel. Ricky Starks and Big Bill are putting the tag titles on the line against the LFI, Rush and Dralistico versus FTR versus Kings of the Black Throne. So a four-way.
Okay. I got it from Collision that it was just Kings of the Black Throne against these, but that could be right because you've had FTR on a winning streak as well as LFI.
This could be pretty good.
They were all in that 8-man the other week, so I think that probably sounds right.
This is what Wiki says. So yeah, I mean the four-way tag, that sounds pretty good. I would be down for that.
Wiki did also say that Nikki Bella main evented WrestleMania 32. So.
Right. Yeah. So I should be careful.
But no, that sounds like it makes sense. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, here it says Kenta Kobashi is taking on. Wait a second.
Who do you have win that match? Do you see Ricky and Bill retaining?
Honestly, any of those, but I think right now might as well keep it with Ricky and Bill.
I say about Kenny being in singles matches and stuff. I feel the same. I feel the tag team should be Brody King and Buddy.
Yeah.
And Malachi doing singles matches.
I know Danielson got hurt, right? But the last time we saw him on AEW TV, he got his head kicked in by Malachi.
Yeah.
Which made me go, oh shit, it's Danielson versus Malachi Black at Full Gear. No, he's injured, so that's not happening. Oh, okay. So are we going to go back to that?
I mean, that could be a tournament match for sure.
Like, we should go back to that. Please, let's go back to that. Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Red Velvet or Sky Blue. I imagine that's just the four weights, but whatever. I see Statlander retaining regardless of anything.
I guess so.
Kenny and the Jets, Golden Jets taking on the Young Bucks, the Young Jets. I think the Bucks should get their...
The stipulation is if the Bucks win, Kenny and Jericho never... team again, and we never have to say Golden Jets ever again. So I'm rooting for the Bucks here.
Sorry, so if the Golden Jets win, they get the Young Bucks title shot.
Yeah,
and if the Young Bucks
title shot that the Young Bucks forgot about.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be.
There's been like 6 tag defenses since they won that match.
Oh no, it's gonna be the Golden Jets winning this time.
No.
Yeah,
we're having the end of the Golden Jets.
Kenny and Jericho are gonna be your tag champions.
I mean. You do have Montreal coming up.
You got some Canada shows, I'm sure, are coming up. Wink, wink, hint, hint, hint. That I think the Golden Jets would do fair. Oh, our Google was like, did you just say you wanted to buy tickets for something? Shut up, Google. Be quiet, please. I think the Golden Jets win and beat Big Bill and Ricky Starks for the tag
Montreal.
Title. Fuck it.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm all in on the Golden Jets now. Fuck everyone. I'm going to buy the shirt.
I'm rooting for the Bucks.
You never root for the Bucks.
I know.
So the Bucks.
I just want to see Kenny in fucking singles matches.
Yeah.
And Jericho tour with Fozzy.
Do something. Yeah. Very odd. So the Bucks win. The Golden Jets can never team together. That's a pretty funny fucking stipulation. I got to give him credit for that one. I'm not going to lie. That's hilarious. Okay. So Hangman versus Swerve. Texas Death.
I think Hangman's undefeated in Texas Death matches.
Yeah.
Am I right there?
So Swerve beat him in the last match.
Swerve, yeah.
So he should win this one.
He should win and do the rubber match at Winter is Coming on TV. Do you think? I don't think you'd do a third pay-per-view.
I don't know what the third rubber match would be if you're doing a Texas death match, but a cage match, something that keeps different. I'm not sure.
Exploding barbed wire death match on TV.
That'd be pretty sick. Do it. It will work fully,
yeah,
properly. Yeah. Nothing will go wrong.
I think they've picked like Texas for Winter is Coming. Like you have Montreal, like which is going to be fucking
Montreal
cold.
death match.
Do a Winter is Coming.
Yeah, you fight in a street in Montreal, and freeze and die.
They do like. What is it like? Beach break in Minnesota in February, and then Winter is Coming in Texas.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. I think Hangman should beat Swerve.
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley.
I think it's got to be Cassidy, right? Like they hit a bit of a roadblock with it, but I think it's Cassidy beats Mox, gets that win, and earns Mox's respect.
Yeah, I think the story that they had planned was for Mox to run with this belt a bit, but it makes a bit more sense now that Orange just has it back. Have him beat Moxley again, and then Moxley beat him, right? Have him beat Moxley, and Moxley can go off in a different feud with someone else. I think we've kind of
and Orange vacates the title.
He says
he wants the world title.
Shit, I don't want this. No, this is an AEW title, right? Yeah. This one counts.
This is really like the secondary title now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They've built it pretty well.
Yeah. Hikaru Shida taking on Timeless Tony Storm with Luther.
And maybe Mariah May, who seems to be the understudy of Tony Storm.
Is this Mickie James Trish Stratus?
I think so.
I think this is an ode to that storyline.
I see Mariah May helping Tony win this title.
Oh,
I think Tony is the heel, but it's like she's going to be the popular one.
It's a tough spot for her.
It's in LA.
Yeah,
and she's playing Hollywood, like Sunset Boulevard kind of thing. So.
Did get a kick out of her doing the what did she go for the Broken Dream? Not the Broken Dreams, the Gold Dust.
Dreams?
Yeah, I can't remember if I watched too much wrestling, right. But I think Tony should win too.
Yeah, I think Mariah helps her.
Right.
I like the debuting with like a promo. Rather than just like an attack and be like, you know who this is? Like her I thought she sounded really good, confident.
Yeah,
can't say I've watched any of her
stuff. I am a
name
fan
I've
of her,
heard.
No, I have watched some of her stuff. I have been a fan of her, and I think they can do this again. I got Mickie James vibes from this, and I think they could do it properly if done right. Well, she eventually
slash Damien Mizdow.
So she does her stunts.
She's like the understudy.
She's like her, like the actor.
She'll dress
thing.
like her. She'll be like a mini Tony Storm kind of thing.
Right. That could be okay. The outfits and the crazy LA shit. Yeah. Hopefully they film some things while they're in the West Coast. Sting, Darby, and a freak, Adam Copeland, taking on Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne, the Patriarchy. This is just a 6-man tag. I thought this was like street fight or something.
No, just I mean they might throw on rules or whatever. Sting can still jump.
He can still jump off things, right? That's not a DQ. Oh, okay, then I guess.
I think
no. Make this a hardcore match like yesterday. Why is that not a? I was under the assumption this was a street fight.
I'm sorry, man.
Because like Sting and Edge and Christian, like they kind of all use that in their repertoire. So.
I think the good guys win this one.
Yeah. Although if it's just this is the first encounter and that's why it's not like a hardcore match, then maybe the bad guys win and then you gotta.
Yeah, there'll be like relaxed rules. You'll get Rick Knox who'll fall asleep during the match.
Yeah, someone will die and he'll be like, "So you tagging?"
Yeah. you got 3 minutes.
Take it home. Take it
home. Just bleeding out from the head.
What else do we have on this show? I think that's it with MJF and Jay White.
MJF.
Yeah. I like what Jay White.
I think it'll be a really good match.
I've been liking Jay White for sure. He's been funny. He's been good wrestling. Just I think given the I stole your title storyline is just very weak.
I hate it.
So it's not doing this any justice for a hot storyline. I think it instantly kills a story. Yeah. If you do this angle, it always ruins it for me. So I don't think I'm alone. I think you definitely have said that you hate this before. So As much as I think both these guys are on top of the game, this is an unfortunate way of promoting the match, but I'm sure it will be good. And Max can finally get his title back. And maybe, just maybe, we get the reveal of the devil.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It'll be the closing moment, going off air with Dolph Ziggler.
Soon. Not yet.
When is it? Is it January?
Yeah.
All right. Tokyo Dome.
He'll show up at the Tokyo
He'll
Dome.
steal Naito's roll call. Everyone's thinking it'll be Nakajima, and it's
it'll
Nick
be
Nemeth.
It'll be Daniels. He'll be in Danielson's corner.
Okay,
because he's boys with him, right?
Yeah,
Nick the Natural Nemeth
walking Danielson to the ring.
Yeah,
sets up Dolph Ziggler Okada for
now you're speaking
on New Year's Dash.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okada loves those zigzags.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, that's kind of our preview and thing going for Full Gear, which is next week. We will be talking about it. I think we'll be going live a little later on the Sunday just to give you some time to watch it. But, we will be talking all about it next Sunday on this very feed and YouTube and all that. So come hang out Sunday afternoon if you've watched the pay-per-view, and we'll chat all about our thoughts on the whole show. But yeah, AEW is in a bit of a lull, but they still deliver. So I'm still looking forward to the show. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Golden Jets, baby.
Bit of news coming out of WWE this week. We had the War Games announcement. Adam Pearce playing the part of William Regal.
What did we think of his? I thought he did a good job.
I thought I've enjoyed Adam Pearce. I think he's been good.
I thought he sounded really good.
Fed up with these games. All these games you people are playing. You want to play games? Yeah, you like games, huh? You like games? Well, how about War Games?
Yeah, not the most perfect time to use the word war in your pay-per-view, but it's all right. So is this 4-on-4?
Currently.
Right.
So it's what? It's Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, and who's the fourth?
Jimmy Uso?
No.
Cody Rhodes?
Cody, Jay, fucking
Kevin Owens?
Is it Kevin?
CM Punk.
No.
It's CM Punk.
Fuck. Who's the other guy? Who's the other good guy? No, it's not Kevin.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Is it Kevin Owens?
LA Knight?
Seth Rollins. Yeah. Cody, Seth, Jay, and fucking Sammy.
Oh, yeah. The world champion? Oh, yeah.
Taking on Finn, Dom, JD McDonough, and Damian Priest. Now, if you want to avoid like potential spoilers, skip ahead. But Fightful reported that it looks like Drew McIntyre is going to be joining Judgment Day's side.
Okay.
And Randy Orton potentially joining the babyfaces.
You know what happened to me yesterday? Wrestling fans, tell me this shit doesn't happen to you when you meet someone like me yesterday going into a concert. We had like some backstage passes, and this one security guard is like letting me through, but he's being a nice guy. Like, hey, how was your day? And I was like, my day was great. How was your day? And he's like, oh, what did you do? I was like, I was watching some wrestling. He's like, watching wrestling? What do you mean? Like the fake stuff? I'm like, yeah, like WWE. He's like, oh, I watched when I was a kid. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I watched it and talk about it as my job and stuff. It's like, oh yeah. And like, he's giving me back my stuff, going through security and stuff. And then he's like, oh yeah. So is it true? I'm like, what's true? Randy, he's coming back. I'm like, wait a second. You just asked me like you don't know what this shit is. And all of a sudden you're like, I can't believe LA Knight lost and that Randy Orton's coming back. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You watch this shit every week. You watch it more than I have because I didn't even hear that.
Oh yeah, no, I used to watch back in the day. Yeah, so they're reuniting Triple Tails.
It's like, what? 2 seconds ago you're like, oh, that
all
fake shit, and then it's like,
the time.
It's like, oh, I can't believe LA Knight lost and Randy's coming back. I was like, brother, I haven't even read that yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, you clearly watch. And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, you fuck.
Yeah, like part of me would kind of like to see Drew on the babyface side. Just I think about those classic, WCW War Games where people turn and join the NWO.
Oh yeah.
But I think by what like Fightful were reporting, is it seems they're going to announce Randy like just before, maybe to sort of calm CM Punk chance.
You need to calm that. Yeah, you need to calm it down because they'll definitely assume for whatever reasons that's Punk. But
I think that would be great. I think Cody in a War Games, he's wanted to do that for a long time. But also some like fresh top characters in this.
I just wouldn't understand why Randy would want to attack them. Did they take him out or anything? No, he's
No, Bloodline.
Yeah, it was Bloodline. So it like Randy coming back to fight Roman would be the match that should be.
But I think as a return thing, just to maybe they need we need a fifth member, and Randy's got history with Drew because they were fighting over the world title for the longest time as well.
Okay.
I didn't think too much of last year's.
I fucking hated that match. I thought that was garbage, and until the final
NXT ones we've seen.
Until like the final, like the acting bits, right, with Sammy and the Bloodline. But I thought the match itself was dog shit. So,
but I think you got people in here who could do maybe some cooler stuff.
Possibly, I hope so. I was genuinely upset. I loved the NXT ones for sure, but they slowly were getting worse, and then the WWE main roster one hit, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I didn't necessarily love the Blood and Guts this year either. Like I liked it, but it wasn't anything that we'll be talking about like best of. People clearly forgot.
What was it? Were we at that one?
We were at last year's.
Okay, what was this year's?
Kota Ibushi?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Right.
Something like I'm with you.
So yeah, I hope they do something interesting. It's great to see Randy back. I'm sure he's gonna come back looking like a fucking gorilla, jacked to the gills. But like, why is he coming back? I would imagine he comes out on SmackDown and goes, "Fuck you, Roman. I want a title shot at like the Rumble or something." Is what I was imagining this for the comeback. But
what about Randy Gunther down the line?
Down the line, yeah, sure. Cool. I just don't know why would he come back and be like, "Hey, I wasn't even around when the Judgment Day formed, really, but I want to fight them." Yeah. It's like, oh, what did they ever do to you?
Oh, it's wrestling.
Yeah,
you can find reasons.
Yeah, be like Dominic Mysterio, you turned on Edge, and I've been injured the whole time. But
yeah,
I didn't see any of this. I've been, taking my kids to school. But have you seen the video though, where he's at his kids he's at some school for his kids, and these other students notice he's in the crowd, so they walk in front of him, and they're like, "Yo, Randy!" And then the one kid RKO's the other kid in front of Randy, and he's like, "That was pretty good."
Maybe it's just he, open up Matt Riddle's Twitter and was like, "Fuck, I need to get that out of my head. Let's go in a double page."
Yeah. I mean, imagine Randy on OnlyFans. That'd be pretty. That's where the money's at if he ever were to. I want to see Randy back, but maybe Randy's the turncoat.
Okay.
Nah, I don't think so. He's too popular right now.
Joins Judgment Day, Randy Day,
Legacy. Yeah, him and Cody.
True. I mean, you could have him turn on Cody.
I don't think you turn Randy
but
now.
Actually, that's the reason.
Yeah,
that's the reason you could have Randy join. He's helping his boy Cody Rhodes.
Legacy.
Yeah, I like that.
Legacy.
I like that.
Yeah.
It looks like we kind of know the women's direction as well. Asuka in a shocking turn on SmackDown, joining Io, Kairi, Dakota, and Bailey. We finally have Kabuki Sky Pirates.
Kabuki Sky Pirates /
would it be
Damage Control?
Kabuki Kai Pirates.
Kabuki Kai Pirate Huggers. we were thinking the same.
Kabuki Kai Pirate Huggers. Yeah. What a team.
Is there an abbreviation we could use instead?
Kabuki, KK. Okay,
we're not on a good start. Kabuki Kai Sky
KKPH.
Kai Huggers.
Just the Kabuki Kai Pirate Huggers.
Okay, so Bailey's getting the boot, right?
Yeah.
She's getting kicked out.
Do you join, could you make this 5-on-5 as well? So I think you've got who are the baby faces? Charlotte, Shotzi.
Oh, right. Sorry. The baby faces are Charlotte?
I don't know, yeah.
It doesn't make sense still. As much as this is a whole, the perfect dream team here is Asuka, Kairi, and Io, and Dakota and Bailey. There's the picture of them backstage.
Dakota's not in the match.
She's not in the match.
She's still injured. But so you do need. So what you've got 4, right?
Pick up the phone.
So you could do 4-on-4, or are we adding one more member to Damage Control? The baby faces, it will just be the odds and ends. Whoever's left over, are going to be there.
You can't get Saray.
Why not?
She's at Suki-Ben or whatever.
Oh well, she can get out of her.
She left Triple H on Red, and she joined that new Joshi.
Okay.
That's the streets are saying she said no to Papa Paul.
Okay,
so they're not going to be her. Who else Who else do we have that you could be putting in there?
Like you could, I mean, I think on the babyface side, it would be a good opportunity to call up someone. To call up I mean, both sides. You could have Tiffany on one side and Roxanne on the other, or something. Could be a big way of two big NXT call ups, maybe.
It's a
looking
shame.
Forward to seeing. Like Io's been in a bunch of these matches.
Yeah, she's done the craziest stuff in these matches.
She
just jumped off
with a trash can on her head.
Yeah,
we're gonna get the moonsault off the top. Maybe the elbow off the top as
well.
Oh
yeah, wow. Yeah, I'm really loving that Kairi's back. Io, it's all going to come into play properly. They're going to sort things out, whether they drop Dakota, whether they drop Bayley, and become like.
I'd like to see them keep Dakota and just drop Bayley.
Okay.
Like I feel Dakota kind of fits with them more.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm interested. I'm kind of maybe more interested in.
Is she part Japanese?
Yeah, why not?
Is that what you're like? Wait a second. She could be.
She's more that side of the world, isn't she? I'm kind of more interested in this than the men's. Just seeing, Kairi and Io and Asuka teaming.
You know who I feel bad for is Rhea. Like, you're one of the biggest acts, men or women, in WWE, and you keep getting like booked as the manager in all these matches. Like, we went.
The problem is, I think they want to save the big matches for Mania, and she's so far above like everyone else, Yeah. So
I want to see her in this match though, like the War Games match.
Got you.
Put her in the men's match. Fuck, just do it.
Why not?
Do it.
Be cool.
Randy can RKO
her. What about Jade as well? Maybe have her join
in for her debut to be War Games. I don't know.
I mean, it can protect you a bit more.
You come out.
You just have to do chair shots and kendo sticks.
You come out at the end and hit your move.
Yeah,
maybe, but
like she could be on either side, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I do love that they're still focusing on Io as like the leader now that Asuka's like joined, because that's fucking cool. Like the three of them as she's
calling the shots, like, and Bayley each time is like, wait, sorry, what's going on?
Yeah, one of the best clips, and I wish this was more focused. The clip I saw was a fan cam where right after the segment where all of them are leaving and they're walking like up the ramp, Kairi sees this person like Kairi with their phone, and Kairi's like, oh, and goes over, and Bayley like looks and sees Kairi doing that, and Bayley comes over and he's like, what the fuck? No, none of this, no, stop, she's not talking to you, and like cuts her off. So I think it's like Bayley's the bad guy,
right? And
everyone else is like, okay, well, we'll listen to her, but actually, wait, we're kind of not that way. So maybe that's the direction, even though they're kicking her out. Like, she's the bad influence on them, but I like seeing Kairi
I like
back.
it.
Yeah.
We also had Santos turn on Rey Mysterio.
Oh, I mean, we've been waiting for this one. Poor Rey Mysterio. We talk about turns and predictability in wrestling. Like, Rey, you came back with your new knees, and like, you should know people will turn on you. Rey has had the most turns on him, like Batista, your best friend, your own fucking son.
Yeah.
And like, you should have your guard up a bit more, man.
Eddie,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Eddie, that one, nothing will ever hurt me in wrestling more than when Eddie turned on Rey. Trust me, you had to be there. I screamed at my television as like a 15-year-old kid, like, what the fuck, Eddie? So like, yeah, Rey's been turned on a lot. So I kind of don't feel bad for him anymore. Is what I mean. Yeah, I'm like,
you should just have a DTA.
You should just like always be on the lookout for this shit. Like, I'm sorry, but Santos making it seem like he's keeping the LWO name.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got it tattooed on his fucking hand.
True, and like also that merch money, like
merch money is a lot.
Ray, you can sell your like own shit and make money.
Let me have it.
Give
please.
him a bone.
Yeah, let's have it. I loved how Logan Paul was at UFC last night, and when they cut to him, he had his US title, of course, but then pulled up his phone and said, shout out Dominic Mysterio. So maybe Logan Paul joins the Judgment Day in the War Games.
Oh.
Yeah, is Logan Paul joining the LWO?
The Logan World Order. Yeah.
Oh my God. People would be really upset. Yeah, I felt like, though, I was like, yo, it was Santos that like turned on Rey. But
we've seen Santos be a great heel in the past.
He was so
like
good.
NXT. I think matches with Rey are going to be really good. I'm hoping this really elevates Santos to the next level.
You know what? I know it was so good in NXT. We talked about it when it happened years ago. When he came in as El Hijo del Fantasma and that whole storyline of like, oh, this guy's great. He's the kid of some legend. He wears this mask. And then it was all like a facade to become like champion. I think they blew their load too early using that in NXT on him, because if you were to do that on main roster, I think that would have been fucking badass.
But maybe build to like a hair versus mask would be cool.
You want this dude to lose that?
He's got
locks?
beautiful hair.
That thing is gorgeous. You can't lose that mane. And Ray ain't taking that.
Well, Ray's had it long enough. He's
taken it off before. He could do it again. He's tired of going through airports. I think
because remember when Andrade and Ray were feuding, and we thought it was maybe going that way, and people were talking even about Mania for that. Yeah. But this was Vince in creative and just dropping stuff. I do have faith like Triple H would carry this through to be a bit of a bigger deal.
I think I know people are like, oh, is this the next pay-per-view match? Like these two should obviously like be feuding and having a match soon. I can't wait for the match because as much as I like them teaming together, Santos has been so good that I could not wait for him to fight Rey Mysterio as one of my all-time favorites. So definitely into the storyline. I did love that, him shoving him.
Could do a ladder match for the contract of the LWO name.
Winner keeps the merch.
Yeah.
Make that the fucking storyline.
Yeah. Or like just, the name of the group.
Yeah, we keep it.
Ownership of LWO. You can have, Zelina Vega torn.
Yeah.
You can play with where Carlito's loyalties lie in all this and stuff like that. And you could make it quite interesting with them being like the kids of two divorced parents.
Well, if Santos has what's it called? His boys, DJZ and Raul.
Yeah,
I'm using their old names there, but he's got them. So Ray's got Carlito and Dragon Lee. So it's like that's the two like teams that would fight.
That'd be some great
great matches there for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And then book a fucking pay-per-view.
Is Dragon Lee with them?
Dragon Lee's on Raw.
He's with Cameron. No, he's on SmackDown. But
he's with Cameron Grimes.
With Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, well, someone's gonna realize he's also part of the LWO now. So
Cameron Grimes.
No. Yeah, Cameron. yeah. Put him in the LWO
with that accent. Needs to bring the hat back
to the
LWO on the hat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm liking the factions and shit in WWE a lot, so I'm interested. But just poor Rey Mysterio, just always see Rhea Ripley took the screen grab of him crying from Smack. He loves to cry too. We talk about Ric Flair crying. Rey Mysterio wears a mask, but he cries a lot. I love it.
I wonder if you could do a traditional Survivor Series match, like maybe hold off the
singles.
The singles, like I wouldn't mind having a traditional Survivor Series match if it's booked correctly, not just people thrown together.
Yeah,
but you said like
a simple storyline would be that Ray goes, "Yo, like you turned on me, I want to fight you," and Santa goes, "Nah," and like the whole time he's just like avoiding it, and you do multi-man things where he gets his hands on him, but
you could do like Santos, Carlito, and Raul and Joaquin.
So you're thinking Carlito turns?
I think Carlito joins Santos.
Oh, okay.
And then you could have Ray, Dragon Lee, Cameron Grimes, and who else?
Logan
Paul. Yeah, because Logan Paul respects him. I love you, Ray. I respect you, man.
Fucking respect you. Stabs him, beats him with brass knucks, kills him with a pipe, shoots him. I love you though. I respect you.
Yeah.
No, where's Bad Bunny?
Or Carlito on the Ray's side, and I think Logan.
Yeah, Ray doesn't have friends.
Oh
now.
yeah, Bad Bunny. Yeah.
Savio Vega. Who else?
Who else is Puerto Rican / Mexican?
What other Latin kings do we got chilling that we can?
Axiom, bring him up.
Oh right, yeah, he's forget he wears a mask, so he's
Spanish.
I don't know, but I think Carlito sides with Ray.
Let us know if you were to build a Survivor Series with Santos versus Ray. Who are the teams at Poison?
He's got Dragon Lee, so we know he's got him. Yeah, I loved the video. Was it last week? I don't even know if this was on TV where Tony Khan's got, is it Dralistico signing his contract? Yeah. And he's acting all happy. I'm like, you're full of shit because you're watching I bet you 6 months ago, probably like a year ago, Roosh, Dralistico, they're all like, we're on TV. Fuck you, young brother. Yeah. Look at us. Look up to us. And then now look how
one match on Raw and it
quickly turned.
In a in a few weeks, we're going to be playing our first Dungeons and Dragons. Our friend is organizing, and we've never played this before.
No, we're thinking of making a show to document
and
it.
It seems all quite in depth. So our friend sent us a whole list of things, and he's like, "Okay, what kind of power do you have?" So I was like, "All right, I'm a sorcerer." And he's like, "Okay, and how did you get your magic? Was it divine? Was it taught? Was it draconic?" And I was like, "Oh, draconic sounds good. I can be Dragon Dave." And he's like, "And what's your race?" I went, "Mexican." And he's like, "No, I mean, are you an orc, a dwarf, a human, an elf?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
So you can't be Mexican?
So I can't be a Mexican draconic sorcerer, apparently.
Sounds like a pretty lame game.
I just want a hybrid, like, wizard's hat, sombrero thing going on.
I said, "Can I be a space cowboy?" He's like, "I don't really know how that plays in." But I was like, no, I want to be a space cowboy. He's like, "I don't think that's a thing in this game, but I mean, you could."
It is now.
Yeah. This is how we play
Dungeons and Dragon Dave.
Yeah, we'll let you know how this goes. We're thinking of maybe filming it or making like a little video or something, maybe for patrons. So, give us advice if you are Dragons and what's it fucking called?
Dungeons and Dragons. Cowboys and Dragons.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be great. You'll be Dragon Dave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying Santos turning on Rey and Rhea Ripley using the image as her Twitter header. She just loves seeing Rey Mysterio tortured.
I'm looking forward to Survivor Series, especially knowing that we're gonna be watching at the bar. And the PLEs have been pretty good.
What about CM Punk?
I don't know.
Is he coming in?
How would you debut him?
It
would be after the main finishes, wouldn't it?
Yeah. When MJF and Jay White are in the ring and he takes off the devil mask.
Right. It's all been a work the whole time.
It's all work, bro.
The Elite come in and just hug him.
Oh my God.
Curtain call.
Curtain calls Kenny and the Bugs and Punk. And Larry. Yeah,
they take out Jericho.
Take out Jericho, you stooge.
Yeah. Think I'm a cancer to wrestling.
Yeah. Just wait till you see what we do.
Yeah.
They take over TNA.
I don't know. I would kind of prefer him to like come as a surprise at the Rumble if he is coming in.
Right.
I kind of like, you don't know how much is just like, feeding out there. Oh no, he's not coming in. To like play people, but I kind of like the idea of them humbling him a bit, going, "Nah, we're good." But I see him going there eventually.
He'll be on the Grayson Waller effect.
Sure.
You saw him comment.
Oh yeah.
They're in cahoots.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
Or is it just he's really trying to be like, hey guys, remember me?
Yeah.
I like you guys now.
Yeah. I love you guys.
I love
you, Triple
Doc
H.
Sampson or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I love Vince's stepson-in-law.
Miz, loved your tornado DDT on Raw.
When's the next Saudi show? I'd love to go.
Those commercials, Saudi looks beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have Pepsi there, right? I think they do. Yeah, Survivor Series looking good.
Mindy's Cookies opens in Saudi. Then you got to be like, wait a second, something's going on
Mindy's
here.
Muffins.
Mindy's Muffins.
Anything else for WWE wise? I'm trying to think.
I think that, you and Cino talked about the NXT CW deal.
Oh yeah.
On Tuesday. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It doesn't affect us Canadians really, but
it might affect us if it moves days. Like, it will personally really affect us if it moves
true.
days.
You think they'd move days now?
It's very possible. Like, everything's up in the air. Like, especially that USA might not even get Raw. Like, it's a good chance Raw goes to like Disney FX or something like that.
That's crazy.
You could have Monday Night SmackDown. Like, USA have aired wrestling on Monday nights at 8 p.m. for like 20 odd years or whatever. Like, you could have a case you get Monday Night SmackDown, Wednesday night NXT, Thursday night Raw or something like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, I guess we'll see.
But I think CW's a good network. It's in a lot of homes. I think the kind of demographic NXT is going, like, from what I think of when I think of CW, it's like Supernatural. It's Riverdale. Was Vampire Diaries? Was that one of them? It's like young adult, and I think that's what NXT has been aiming for. And I think it has got better since moving away from 2.0. Like, the kind of mellow trick story is doing really well. it's got what was it, like a 70% increase or something like that?
It's gotten a lot.
It's got a huge increase, so they're going to be investing a lot into it. I think it's really good for the brand, and hopefully, rather than being USA's second property, this is CW's top wrestling property. So
yeah, it'll get more eyes on the product.
I wonder if it stays in the PC or whether you see it move around a bit more or something like that.
I have a feeling they'd stay. I don't think moving
stay.
would make sense at this point.
I'd like to see them. Remember, they used to like sometimes just get out of Full Sail. They went to like the Arnold Classic and things like that. I'd like to see them do that once in a while.
Do it on a boat.
Yeah, fuck it. But like, predominantly be at the PC, but occasionally you take it on the road and you do a live show.
Halloween Havoc in Salem.
Why not? In like a small venue. Like you don't need to put these arenas, but similar kind of size, like 500, 1,000 people or whatever. Like I think could be cool. But yeah, I think it's a great move. But yeah, I am. It's not till August next year. So we've got a while, but I am slightly nervous if the days change with what we'll be doing. If the days change, we'll have to figure out what we're doing because we've done it before already. It might be morning after shows. Yeah. Could be a thing because you think they'd go up against like Dynamite again? I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. They're like, look, we beat you. So I wouldn't put it past them at all. Yeah. Undertaker as GM of NXT. Come out with his motorcycle. Cena, are you guys striking again? Yeah. No, he's got his Patreon now. Come on. He's busy. But no, I wouldn't put it past him. And actually, if it is moving, personally for me, Wednesday would work a little better than another night. We used to watch both shows in the night. It might be we do it morning after or something like that. But who knows? We'll talk to John away. Yeah. If they even change, they could just stay Tuesday nights. They could say Tuesdays as well. Yeah. I mean, Tuesdays, there isn't a whole lot going on. Tuesdays is a great day. Nothing ever happens. There isn't much going on. So Tuesdays suck. So it's a great day to have something to do. At least like to even anywhere in the world of, look at us. We like to go out a lot. And like Tuesdays, always nothing. Yeah. Mondays, you got everyone wants one more day of the weekend. Yep. Tuesdays, nothing. Thursdays, people want to start the weekend early. Thursdays. Wednesdays, you got karaoke at bars, but Tuesdays, like fucking nothing. Yeah. We've been in every fucking city in the world. Tuesdays is the shits. So like having wrestling on a Tuesday night is actually good for me because it gives me something to do. Oh, it works for me. Yeah. So I wouldn't want that to change, but we'll see what happens with the CW. Anything else? Well, speaking of WWE, we could talk about Vince and his fucking mustache. I mean, we could talk about everyone's new favorite meme, the Vince McMahon. Yeah. Everyone's been sharing that. A bit late. Like, how has this suddenly started? This is from the Undertaker documentary from like 3 years ago. Memes work in mysterious ways. It's very odd. Yeah. They work in weird ways. So, him crying, doing that. Nope, not talking about that. Love it. Vince sold some stocks, but still not he sold what, 30%, I believe. That's still like a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Yeah. But like, what's interesting is sort of this guy doesn't need money. So why is he selling? Yeah. What's up with that? I love now that Dana White and Vince McMahon are somewhat like chummy, I guess. Dana putting him over for getting the Saudi deal done. That's what I was talking. I saw that. As Ari Emanuel seems to just be backhanded compliments and moving him into like risk factors and buying sell all your stocks. Yeah, sell it all, Vince. But I mean, it clearly looks now like Vince has very little to do with the running of WWE. He's just still he's gonna sell all his stocks in WWE and buy all the stocks in Just for Men. That's what he's gonna do. Him and Rudy Giuliani, right? Yeah. No, Giuliani could have done with some stocks in that because he used the cheap Dollarama like fucking stuff, car oil. Yeah. But yeah, it gives me like, I've been enjoying WWE way more in 2023 than I have for a long time. Sure, me too. Yeah, and I think a lot of it is down to creative and not necessarily being mind-blowing stuff a lot of the time, but not being frustrated about like 50-50 booking, DQ finishes, like stories that are started and dropped immediately, characters getting over and then being punished for them getting themselves over. Instead we're seeing Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn for the world title on Raw. Like 6 months, a year ago, you'd have been like, okay, so Judgment Day are coming out and attacking them. DQ finish, double count out. What we getting here? No, Seth wins clean.
It was a good match.
At the end of a good match, Like you had the same with the tag match you had recently on Raw. Like you're having actual finishes and stars facing each other. That's refreshing. It seems fucking logical stuff to do, but we haven't seen it for so long. Someone like a Dragon Lee getting a match on Raw, getting over. All right, here's a job.
Yeah.
You're on SmackDown now. Someone like LA Knight. Oh, the things are popular. How about we have him lose all the time until people stop chanting yeah? Or how about, should we give him a world title match at a pay-per-view? Like, it's all stuff that seems so fucking obvious, but WWE's ignored it since 2005.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, there's definitely differences for sure that I'm like, oh, they're doing things a bit differently, and it definitely makes things. I did check out some of Raw this week, the first time ever.
Yeah.
I saw it was DIY and the Creeds. I was like, I'm gonna check this out. It was great. What'd you think of DIY's theme song? A few years too late, maybe, but they've got new gear and theme and everything. Mm-hmm. So what, they're gonna push these two young up and coming.
They lost. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Well, Johnny Gargano needs to lose a lot before he can win.
That's when he gets a bit more interesting, I guess. But I thought the crowd were on their fucking hands for that one. There was no reaction.
Well, I think you're seeing that was also kind of a formula in NXT where people got over by their matches a lot of the time, which meant a lot of sitting on their hands. Like we do that show Was Next. And I remember watching like Adrian Neville pack his debut. Yeah. And people are sitting on their hands.
Quiet.
And then he hits the red arrow. And everyone was like, sorry, what the fuck was that? You kind of had that with, was it Dragon Lee and Cedric? Like Cedric's someone we've been told not to take seriously for years now. People sitting on their hands. And then towards the end of the match, they're like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to take time. But, if DIY can go out there and put on matches like they used to, if the Creeds show what we've been singing their praises for in NXT, slowly they will get over, I think.
Me too. Hopefully.
But it's reconditioning your audience a little because it is a change of how WWE's been presented for a long time.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is it gives me faith that we're seeing these changes. We're seeing Vince sell stock, and we're seeing Ari Emanuel kind of shit on Vince in interviews a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It gets better, but I like what Triple H is doing so far, for sure. Papa Triple H, Papa Paul. Anything else kind of before we
well, we did watch just before going live. We watched Zack Sabre Jr. take on Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah. New Japan Strong Lone Star Shootout. Is that the name of this show? Yeah, it looked like there wasn't a lot of people there. It looked like an episode of Rampage.
Yeah.
It was empty.
Yeah.
They had the lights completely off because they did not want to show that there was no one at this event. However, it had my interest. Once you announced a dream match with such caliber, I had to tune in. I mean, who would not want to watch Joey Janela versus Toriano?
I watched it.
It was amazing. It was everything I needed it to be. Short.
Yeah.
It was short. Yeah. It was good.
No, I really like this match. I think.
Are you talking about Speedball and Zack Sabre Jr.?
Like Zack Sabre Jr.'s style is. I had someone sat at the bar yesterday, and he was kind of asking me about wrestling, and was saying like he's from the UK, and he was talking about I used to see this stuff at Blackpool, and he was like, is that old English
Combat Club?
Yeah, like he said, like Blackpool Tower, and like Butlins and Pont, like holiday camps, which you hear Regal and Danielson talk about a lot. He was talking about, I remember seeing that, and he was like, is like the British wrestling still a thing, like World of Sport? I was like, no, but there is a distinct European style, but you've just seen it evolve, and just seeing the speed, like you think like Zack Sabre Jr. is taken from like a Johnny Saint style, but just so much smoother and quicker. And then when you're up against one of the fastest people like Speedball, it just made such a just beautiful match of transitions you're watching.
There
you go. How are you getting from that to that to that?
How is he countering a certain move that into a different move that then he transitions into something else? It's very crazy.
It felt like, and it's maybe a cliche, but it felt like chess a lot of the time, where you see them thinking 3 moves ahead, where they're kind of making the other person think they're going for a certain move, where they're actually doing that to get that limb free to set up for another sort of submission. It was really good. I really recommend it.
Yeah, this was great. I'm happy that we chose to watch some of this before recording, because Speedball has had one hell of a year. Really loved his match with Ospreay, and this one was different yet like just as good, because like the counters of all the moves. Like, man, Zack Sabre Jr. is just a legit wizard.
We've got to have him at Wembley next year. Like, he deserves it. Like as much as Ospreay does. Like, he's so good, and he needs to be in that stadium.
All right, book him against Jericho.
Yeah. Or the Danielson rematch. Fuck it.
No, it's got to be Danielson Ospreay all in. That's
okay.
That's it or break. Like, that's it. That's the match.
True.
That's the match.
Okay.
So
if Ospreay's around,
I'm sure he will be.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
You think he's AEW bound?
I think he'll be doing the open relationship, polyamorous type thing next year. Yeah. I think he'll be like, I'm going to face Danielson at All In, but I won't be putting my TNA title on the line. That kind of shit.
TNA All In.
Yeah. TNA kind of, maybe he'll show up, win their title once or twice, and then leave and then go to WWE in like 3 years. But I do predict he'll be in AEW. But or according to his Twitter, he won't be doing any of that. Will Ospreay says he wants to be the first ever wrestler on Strictly Come Dancing. Okay, so someone who is not British. I know what it is because my roommate happens to be British, but explain to me like I'm not British.
It's Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
So it's the UK version. And you know what? Like, when I was living back home, I'd watch this with my mom.
Yeah.
And you get celebrities, like some of them become really fucking good dancers. Yeah. And the people that are often the best on this show tend to either be like actors who've had a bit of dance background, like myself included. I danced as a kid. Like you do it if you're acting, but often it's athletes because of that competitive nature. Yeah. Right. So you often see like Olympians do really well because they're just used to being the best, and they work at it and they train. Like, whereas you see comedians put in 2 hours training a day, they're like, no, we're doing 10 hours daily. We're getting up at 5 a.m. and we're doing this. Or Will Ospreay with his like gymnastics background and obviously the wrestling, and wrestling is like somewhat choreography as well, as much as you call bits in the ring. There's certainly learning a whole string of things. I think it'd be fucking great, and I think that would be awesome to like promote wrestling as a whole. Not having just a WWE star do okay. I think Ospreay would be brilliant, and I could see him as a potential finalist in a show like that.
Wow. Damn.
Like, it's huge. It's huge in the UK. And certainly if he's in an AEW and he wanted to take, it's essentially like, it's on now. So it's normally like October till Christmas.
We're airing Starstruck.
Okay.
Does your mom watch that?
She does, yeah.
I'm learning a lot about
bigger though. Like, Strictly and X Factor are like usually the biggest shows. Strictly is even more popular because it's one that like grandparents like, kids like.
Dancing with the Stars is really popular
BBC in primetime weekend show.
Like, wrestlers have been on Dancing with the Stars. Jericho,
Nikki Bella,
Keebler.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. But
I feel like Ospreay would be good. Like you've seen from this year alone. He's like, I want to have the best year any pro wrestler's ever had in the business.
So he could be.
I think it could be great. Yeah,
be on Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah,
so book it. Yeah, I would love to see that. We watched that ZSJ Speedball match, which was fantastic. Would definitely recommend it. Other things coming out of it, I sat asking myself, why David Finlay? Why? Not because he did anything like malicious on screen. Just why is David Finlay like on my screen? Why is David Finlay?
Why is David Finlay?
Because I just can't figure out why is David Finlay. Because that Mox Ospreay match is going to be so good at the Wrestle Kingdom, but don't really know why David Finlay.
Yeah.
Because I watched that.
Who knows? It might blow us away.
Hope so, man.
Yeah.
Really do. Other things coming out of this show. What was there? Toriano, Joey Janela. They had a few other things. I definitely was just kind of cherry.
I didn't catch anything else. But.
We then put on some of the DDT show. We watched a bit of Jericho Takeshita. Our feed was not working too well, but Jericho made Takeshita tap out in DDT. So I mean, like
the line timer.
Yeah. So I mean, getting himself over in Japan.
Got to put over that kid, Chris Jericho.
But
like, is Takeshita AEW's new Daniel Garcia? Is that what we're getting here?
They're going to use him that way.
Where it's like,
maybe
he seemed to be the guy that we're building in this faction.
Yeah.
And we're getting, let's put Will Hobbs in there as well.
Right.
Bless him. I like Will Hobbs, but.
The bigger, like Jericho making him tap out, not too shocking. The biggest shock coming out of this show is the New Japan Junior Heavyweight Championship title belt pinned Hiromu. Take that in.
Which championship has it won?
The fucking, I don't know, Iron Man Meta Popular Mechanics for Kids title. I have no idea.
This is so funny.
It's so funny. The video.
Iron Man heavy metal weight.
So Hiromu, I saw clips of him fighting, was it the doll, right?
Yeah.
And he finally wins this match where he pins this other wrestler. But as like the match is ending, the ref puts the belt on him and then counts a 3 count and then awards the title. So then Hiromu's like, wait, what are you talking about? As the commentary made it for me, as they're like, oh my God, he's done it. The boyhood dream has come true where the title has won a championship.
So apparently this has happened before.
Yes, the title was the champion.
This is basically the 24/7 title, hardcore championship kind of thing. The 1,000 Iron Man heavyweight champion was crowned in 2014 when the title belt itself became the champion.
Yes,
by pinning Shanshiro Takagi. But
ridiculous.
Yes, this just happened again last night.
Some of the other stuff from this DDT show looked very interesting, to say the least. So check it out if it's up your alley. I will say, like,
we've also had Bunny the cat win this title, Kokolo, a miniature dachshund dog, win this title.
Nice.
And Yachan, a monkey, win the title.
An actual monkey?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Other objects to hold this title are a ladder, a stuffed Hello Kitty doll, a baseball bat, a stuffed Junka Sai doll.
At the one where I was at in New York, coming to America, they had some wacky shit involving this title.
Amazing.
I can't remember now, but I hope they do a DDT show Philly weekend. That would be the one show I think I would go to.
Vince McMahon's Hollywood Walk of Fame star has even been the champion. This is brilliant. Like, you see, like, when the hardcore title had its 24/7 thing, they did some more fun shit with it than the latest. 24/7 title was just schoolboy. Yeah. Schoolboy.
I regret giving away our hardcore title. Got to get it back. We could play that game at events.
We should have bought the 24/7 title at
it was $100
at Rico. Yeah.
Everyone was walking around.
We'll see what they got. They're coming back to town this December.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Well, DDT was fun. Check that out. Check out all the wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling going on, and we love to watch it and talk about it.
We do get one question from Jake in the chat who says, would you still pick AEW as promotion of the year, or has it completely turned around to WWE for you?
I don't speak for everyone, but I'd still say I have more interest. It still feels like the show made for me, like as someone who's 32, whereas WWE still feels like it's for an 8-year-old, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, even on a bad day, I'd still pick AEW because there's blood, there's swearing, there's, like
it completely depends on what like metrics you're looking at. I think this is a way closer argument than it has been the last few years. I think like WWE's PLEs have been really good. Yeah. They've had matches this year, which are match of year contenders, which they haven't really in previous years. I still think actual wrestling, I prefer watching AEW.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly, it's a more interesting conversation to be had this year when we do our end of year awards than like the last few years where it's just AEW, hands down.
Yeah.
But I'm probably with you. I'd probably still say AEW.
Yeah, as much as like there's stuff that I don't like, there's still a lot more of stuff I do like that probably outweighs that. But I mean, it's November now. In about a month or so, we will be starting to make our lists for best and worst of, and I'm sure we'll be.
I'm kind of dreading it
because there's so much to do.
It's fun, but it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it is a good payoff, which we usually have fun with. So I'm thinking of I have a few ideas actually. I know we usually we join John away, and I know that is always like my highlight of podcasting every year. But I think we could have some fun over on this feed with maybe getting some other people to join us for a different kind of like best and worst of different things. Obviously, we look at NXT every Tuesday. We'll probably do a little bit of that on whatever Tuesday that it lands on at the end of the year. But this year, I think a lot of people will be arguing about, I like this match more because there's so much good stuff that came out.
Like you can break down this year into like best TV match of the year.
Exactly. That should be a match. Like it's usually not
like
that.
If there was a category like best TV wrestler of the year, like you could have an argument for a Gunther or someone like that.
Right,
I think best wrestler of the year is a lock this time.
Yeah.
But there's definitely other interesting stuff we could talk about.
For sure. So definitely looking forward to that. Thank you, Jake.
All right. I think that brings us to an end.
That's it,
Can you
folks.
pass me the lei? I think it will go nicely with my fur jacket.
The fake Roman Reigns
it's
garlic
real. Yeah.
It looks like a garlic turned dyed red is what it is.
This is my look today.
Yeah. We're gonna wear that
out forever.
We'll wear the titles out tonight too, just because. Thank you for making it this far. Anyone in the YouTube chat, we love you, appreciate you. Anyone in the YouTube replay, same goes to you. We love you. And podcast listeners, thank you. Hit that subscribe, hit that download on all the other shows that we're doing on this very feed. Eagles Don't Hunt Flies. We got Shot in the Dark. We got a detox. I'm recording on Thursday with Jordan. I'll be putting a Facebook poll up. Not a poll, but questions. We love our AMAs on that show. So give us your wackiest, wildest questions. We'll love to answer them. But of course, patreon.com/Poisonrana. $5 to get access to so many podcasts that Davie and I do and help support the BDE and keep the lights on and keep our internet running smooth because it was good today, right?
It was beautiful, yeah.
It's because you yelled at them.
Yeah.
You said, look.
Yo, what the fuck? Fix it. I pay you money.
Yeah.
And you don't provide.
Exactly. So now they do.
Yeah.
That's right. Appreciate you fine folks for listening and supporting us because we cannot do that without our listeners and our little community. So join that Facebook page. Poisonrana.ca for all the links that we do at Poisonrana Pod, Twitter, Instagram, and I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me Twitter, Instagram at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And for Kyrie.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.